You know, my mantra, the one I live by, is green is the new red, white, and blue. And what I mean by that is that green is no longer liberal, sissy, girly man, unpatriotic. Green is geostrategic, geopolitical, geoeconomic. It is the most patriotic, most capitalistic, most strategic thing you can do today to live, work, design, build, and engage in green commerce.
With over 700 partners in more than 70 countries, the World Resources Institute is an environmental think tank that goes beyond research to protect Earth and improve people's lives. But why are some of the world's most powerful corporations, world leaders, and environmental agencies coming together through the efforts of the WRI?
When we started 25 years ago, we identified things like climate change and biodiversity loss and deforestation and the loss of marine fisheries and all the other horrible global scale environmental challenges we face as the big threats.
WRI is a very special place. It is a thoughtful policy and research institute which is not partisan, it does not lobby, it is not litigious, but it thoughtfully comes up with creative solutions to critical problems that we have in this world.
We have a huge problem still with these challenges, and despite the progress that's been made, the progress is too often overwhelmed.
WRI is very fair, they're very fact-based, they want to get to the solution. They seem to have much less of a political agenda, but they have a very clear policy agenda.
The thing that WRI can still do even more of, I think, is communication.
I want to now introduce WRI's current president, Jonathan Lash. Jonathan is focused on assuring that WRI's ideas lead to action. During his leadership, WRI pioneered the use of digital technologies to solve environmental problems. WRI has created new mechanisms to empower civil society groups. It catalyzed the Millennium Assessment of Global Ecosystems, the first comprehensive checkup on the health of the Earth's basic biological systems. It created the greenhouse gas accounting system used worldwide by companies to measure their emissions. Jonathan has also been singularly responsible for engaging the business community and the investment community.
If anyone symbolized the courage to lead, it was Sam. The last time I saw Sam, just a few months before he died, he couldn't wait to tell me the latest about his very public battle with Wisconsin Energy. Why, he asked, looking at me fiercely, would they build new coal plants here in Wisconsin when they don't have to? It just doesn't make sense. Behind him, on the big flat screen monitor of his computer, was a video feed from the new energy plant that SC Johnson had just built to convert landfill gas, methane, to heat and electricity, saving money, reducing pollution, and avoiding more than 50,000 tons of greenhouse gas emissions every year. That made sense to Sam.
Dad was one of the first to see that business and the environment were not antagonists. His belief in the importance of the environment transcended the scientific or the economic. He also understood that it had to do with the soul.
Both MacArthur and WRI honor high-quality, objective research. We both are comfortable with complexity, and see the interrelationship of issues. Both of us value evidence over ideology and hope that people who do not trust each other will trust us to bring them together in search for practical solutions.
WRI believes that people are moved by information. How information will be communicated in the 21st century is certainly going to be different. WRI has worked with communication experts to plan a new way to get its message out. It has determined that its message will not just touch and reach tens of thousands, but millions.
General Electric has a position in corporate America that allows it to capture the attention and the imagination of people all over the world. And when Jeff Immelt decided to make the business case for taking action, a lot of other business leaders who had not theretofore taken a good hard look at the economics of this challenge began to do so. And on behalf of the World Resources Institute Board, I'm very pleased to honor Jeff Immelt for corporate leadership on environmental issues. Jeff, come on up.
I'm here as a business leader that works for investors, that's responsible for customers and employees, that sees the world in a broader context, that knows that we have to be a good citizen, both today and in the future. And in 2004, when I was leading GE, I began to see in a number of businesses real technologies that had real applications about energy efficiency and environmental technology. And at that time, together with some of my GE colleagues, really tried to study the science. And so the conclusion that we took over almost a year was that the science really around global warming was compelling. That the technology that could provide solutions was available. That customers wanted solutions. That society had reached a sea change. So that it was our job, we thought as a company, to get ahead of it. The first thing we said was between 2005 and 2010, we were going to double the R&D in more than 20 products that we thought were going to be key technologies for the next decades. Number two, and quite surprisingly, we decided to reduce our own greenhouse gas emissions by 1%, or effectively 35% by net 1%. And with higher energy costs, that actually saved money. We thought this was going to be an expense. But because we did it, we're actually saving $100 million a year for our investors. The third thing we said we're going to do was we're going to be very commercial. In 2004, in the 20 eco-imagination products we outlined, we had $6 billion in revenue. In 2006, that's $12 billion in revenue. In 2006, we took $20 billion of orders in 20 eco-imagination products and have $40 billion of backlogs. And the last thing we said we'd do is we're going to be transparent, because we think if there's a way to let the market work in this country around environmental technology, that there's so much technology out there that can solve problems.